Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to Azam. My name is Shazwani binti Muhammad Shukri, and for my part is the introduction, which is the term at the top. Actually, the term at the top is which is frequently used in everything. Refers to the leadership style and integrity and ethics of a company's board of directors and management. Ethically sound business culture. The term at the top, as its name suggests, emanates from the top and eventually filters down to middle name, management, and the bottom line. Next is the term at the top for Toshiba Corporation Japan. They used to have a very toxic term at the top, which is because the executive at the Toshiba, you begin to set unattainable profit goals, which raise the possibility of fraud. Toshiba also established a culture which is intolerable mistakes, which lead to the culture where they could not do any mistakes, so they find ways to meet the goal by concealing facts using accounting strategies. In addition to implementing such a culture, Toshiba also enforced a rigid hierarchy of position in which inferiors are required to submit to the superiors. The issue is, when they need to submit it, the issue is that in instituting internal control, the superiors did not set a positive example, because if the superior just ask the subordinates to do this kind of stuff, like if they need to conceal the fraud, they just follow what the superior say, and they didn't have any word and any right to argue with it. In the disclosure of the incident, Toshiba not only saw a sharp decline in its stock price, but also earning losses of up to 995 billion yen, which had a long-term negative impact in its operations.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Adliadani binti Muhammad Sri, and I will present to you about Toshiba Corporation scandal case. So, as you know, Toshiba Corporation was included in the world 2 most valuable company. So, in July 2015, CEO Hisao Tanaka resigned due to accounting fraud of 1.2 billion United States dollar. It shocked the world. Okay, after Hisao Tanaka resigned, Toshiba Corporation have a new CEO. His name is Masashi Muromachi. He be the CEO in 22nd July 2015. Basically, Toshiba inflated in operating profit by 1.2 billion USD dollar. This fraud started in 2000 under 3 CEO. First is Atsutoshi Nishida, second is Norio Sasaki, and the last is Hisao Tanaka. Investigators described that street profit targets were given to different business units from higher management to Toshiba for meeting profit target. Irregular accounting practices were performed, such as early booking for a future profit. They also postponed loss and charges. Further, it was revealed that the Toshiba corporate culture was to show extreme obedience to superior. In addition to this, weak governance system and weak internal control. Due to all these reasons, fraud occur. Therefore, it is essential for any company focus on strong governance system and leadership. Okay, now I will present you about whistleblower. Whistleblower is a former prosecutor Toshiba recruit to look into their finance. They found that the Toshiba profit were exaggerated by more than $1.2 billion USD. Toshiba was obligated to pay significant fines and restate their financial statement. Okay, the 7-year senior management cover-up was exposed by the whistleblower in early 2015, who also brought the end to the problem. The result of the independent examination of the company finance set off the crisis. Investigators claimed that the company top management established improbable profit goal which systematically encourage questionable accounting procedure. Divisional head discovered that the only way to meet this objective was the deftly concealing data through irregular accounting practice. Since Toshiba company adopt the philosophy at a failure would not be tolerated. Okay, thank you. I will pass for the next presenter.
Assalamualaikum to Sir Azam. So now I will be continue for the number 3, which is the pressure, opportunities, rationalization towards fraud. Before I begin the presentations, my name is Nur Aliafika binti Zainal Abidin. Now, by looking at this fraud, that we can identify for each aspects that were contributing the Toshiba accounting fraud case. So the first one, as we can see, is pressures. By observe, need to understand the motivation behind this tendency toward negativity, but it must exist regardless. From financial crisis to greed, it encompasses a wide spectrum of emotions and is usually related to injustice. However, it goes without saying that when the pressure increased, it manifested itself and clearly strayed from acceptable standards and procedures. Next, we can see the points for opportunities. The opportunity is a possibility to commit fraud. There often is a brief window of opportunity where it is possible to do so without running the risk of being discovered. As a result, the chances present itself in the best possible way to carry out the desired activities without having to deal within too many consequences. Right one. At all costs, even though it was known that doing so would eventually result in the adoption of fraudulent policies and inflated results. Thus, eventually establish itself as a strict structure with little to no potential for improvement, and those who continued it received the benefits. The last one, we move to rationalization. So, which is we can see that is able to defend his cause of action and convince others that it is the only option for getting out the present situation and succeeding in the future. However, proved to be a great challenge for the conglomerate to overcome without losing a significant portion of its market share. So based on my opinion, towards pressures, opportunities, and the rationalizations, the step in preventing an early detection of internal fraud is to understand its causes and motivations.
Okay, I'm Amira Fatihah binti Zakaria and I will explain about the consequent effect penalty imposed for the auditor, the company, management, shareholder and any relevant parties. For the auditor of Toshiba Corporation is Ernst and Young Shinihon. The company consideration or effect is they provide through a combination of a process that of credibility. The auditor is playing an important role when there is fraud because the auditor is the person who review and make audit report. Ernst and Young corporation Neon luckily does not experience any legal required them to commit the fraud. It fails because there is no inconsistent of the auditing of the accounting and auditing standard that used in Japan. Toshiba Corporation managed to hide the fraud systematically until the auditor cannot judge for the materiality of the money. Next is the company. It is revealed that the Toshiba Corporation was removed from the stock index. After that, the price of share hit the bottom. They lost many investors. At the same time, they faced net losses for the quarterly period, $102 million. Toshiba showed the poor performance by the sale of its product. It is hard for the Toshiba Corporation to recover the loss. In 2015, Toshiba Corporation had wiped out and faced annual loss of 37.8 billion yen or $4.5 billion for the financial year that end in March. Okay, next is the management. The accounting fraud happened because of the basis management estimation. So the divisional department need to be restructured to increase the efficiency and effectively of the company. In 2015, the internal control and corporate governance program need to be improved by the management and the board of directors. However, they facing the ethical problems in the organization due to the scandal in the late 2016 until early 2017. For the shareholder, after that, the Toshiba scandal shocked many people all around the world. Many investors lost confidence and trust. The shareholder has loss of investor confidence get worsened. They also face lawsuit and losses because of the lower shares occur. There are a few companies that are set fire such as Mitsubishi UFJ Trust and FBC Master Trust Bank of Japan, Japan Trustee Service Bank, and FBC of Sumitomo Mitsui Trust Holding and Persona Bank and Trust and Custody Service Bank and a subsidiary of Mizuho Financial Group. In addition, Toshiba Corporation already is sued by 50 individual shareholders, followed by the 3 former chief executive and 2 chief financial officers. The company fell to the lower stock, so the shareholders started to claim for the compensation due to the problem. Is the effect of or the penalty imposed of this scandal to the other parties such as employee and perpetrator. For employees, Toshiba is cutting 7,800 jobs in total as part of a measure to reduce cost of money and restructure for the Japanese tech firm. This decision gives a big impact to the employees and make they lose their work and sources of money. The chief of executive officer and president Hisao Tanaka resigned for the Toshiba. The Toshiba scandal receives a lot of attention. President Tanaka asked for apologies in front of the media and reporter for the scandal that happened and answered all the questions about the matter. He could cooperate with the investigation and apologize to all shareholders and stakeholders of the company. At the same time, total of 26 people also face the disciplinary action. However, the details of punishment did not publicly announce the detail. That's all for me. Thank you.
But not least, for the conclusion, the Toshiba accounting fraud scandal occurred because the corporate governance failed. CEO and executive members set aggressive and illogical targets that these difficult targets were being met and strong. Because of fraudulent accounting in Toshiba, it is involved because of the conflict between the directors' interests, the accounting standard that they use and manipulate it to make the statement look fair and profitable. So it can judge that whether a treatment is appropriate or not because they were systematically planned until the auditor had to give judgment based on their materiality. And lastly, in my opinion, after the case happened, the investor do not want to invest in Toshiba Corporation because of the reliability and credibility on what already happened in the accounting standard scandal in the company because of the fraud things. So they need a lot of cost and time to resolve the loss market that they face and to gain confidence for the consumer to rehabilitate the company. They need to plan strategies to rebuilding their new earnings and materiality of the asset in the financial statement, in the financial position, because this scandal become a case that give a big impact for the company, because Toshiba is one of the most big company in Japan, so they need to recover back their profit and regain more customer, so they could give confidence to them. Thank you.
Thank you to the presenter. So now I will be continue for the last part, which is what does I've been learned regarding the something interesting. So as we can see, and misleading the public and its stockholders by overstating the company's earnings that were ultimately untrue was unethical. The organized accounting fraud that shocked the management of the Toshiba company and a few of its employees was the root of the financial scandal. Thus, planning to defraud a company was wrong and prohibited. The management of Toshiba failed to act in an ethical manner because it was prohibited for a firm under their control to declare fraudulent numbers and improperly modify the accounting standards. So that's all from us. Thank you.